Recently, my son and daughter, who are 18-year-old twins, just celebrated their birthdays, and I gave them gifts accordingly. However, my daughter got upset about the gift she received compared to her brother, and now she won't talk to me. Here's the deal. I bought a car for my son's birthday. It's a used one, nothing fancy, and it's a reliable vehicle to get him around. It cost me $10,000 and some change. On the other hand, for my daughter's birthday, I gifted her a $300 Visa gift card. I know the car is a lot more than $300, but he deserved it based on his hard work in school and work. My daughter doesn't have a job and doesn't work as hard as he does, which is partly why he received a bigger gift. Now, I understand that on the surface this might seem unfair, but hear me out. My son has shown a strong interest in cars for years and he's been saving up for one. He's responsible and has a part-time job, so I thought it was a good time to help him get one. He was thrilled and we even went car shopping together. My daughter, on the other hand, never expressed any particular interest in anything specific. She's more into shopping and fashion, so I thought a Visa gift card would give her the freedom to choose whatever she wants. Plus, she's been asking for extra money lately to buy clothes and makeup. However, when she opened her gift, she got visibly upset and called it unfair. She said it wasn't fair that her brother got a car and she only got a gift card and I was showing favoritism. I tried explaining my reasoning, but she wouldn't listen and stormed off to her room. She hasn't talked to me since. I did what was best for each of them based on their interests and needs, but now I'm wondering if I was wrong. Am I the idiot for gifting my twins differently on their birthdays? I got my son something practical that will help him get around. I got my daughter a gift card so she can buy herself some shiny trinkets, because that's what girls like, right? Dude, you are the idiot. You claim it's about interest, but she's 18. She'll need a car very soon if she doesn't already. This is flat-out favoritism, and I smell a lot of misogyny in the mix too. My God, in no realm is a car equal to a $300 gift card. You spend $300 on your gift for your daughter, but $10,000 on your son? That's 33 times the value of the gift card. Wow, how can you not see that's unfair? Even if the car was a used 2000 hoopty, you're still the idiot. Your favoritism is showing. I'd be angry too. You just assigned your twins' values and showed who you value more. You owe your daughter a major apology and a car. Yeah, she's never expressed any particular interest in anything specific. It's such BS. She obviously has interests and goals, but OP has never paid attention. I'm sure she's known for years that her brother is the favorite. I wonder what other flimsy excuses Mom has used over the years to justify her preferential treatment of the brother. Just because your daughter uses a car as a utility and your son has a strong interest in cars isn't a reason not to gift your daughter one. Having a car opens life up to so many possibilities you deny your daughter. It's unlikely she'll be enthusiastic about your relationship moving forward, and is that how you want your old age to be? And if you made it 18 years without realizing your kid's gift should be close in monetary value, I don't know what to tell you. I, 41 female, have 3 sons, twins who are older tweens and a younger tween. All of my sons started doing chores around 8 and getting allowances at 10 years old. Chores are only mandatory 5 days out of the week. I don't care what time of day they choose to get them done as long as they're done by the end of the day. I made it clear to my boys once they started earning money that they would be getting $10 a day for every day they complete their chores. If they fail to do so, then $10 would be deducted. It's been that way for 2 years for my eldest boys and a couple of months for the youngest. Allowance is always paid out every Wednesday, and I encourage them to save enough to take with them on the weekend to their dads in case they go somewhere fun or see something cool that they might want, but dad might not be okay with spending money on. This system has worked swimmingly for us since it started. The boys have always complied with completing their chores. However, one of my twins refused to do his chores, sweeping downstairs and wiping down surfaces for 3 days. The first 2 days he did so without problem, but when his friend asked him to play Fortnite with him, my son asked for 15 minutes to complete his chore before he got onto the PlayStation. His friend asked what chore he had to do, so my son told him. In response, my son's friend said, "It's a good thing my parents don't make me do girl chores." I spoke with my son and explained to him that knowing how to clean was not specific to any gender, and that it was a life skill everyone needed to know. I also told him that I understood that other families function differently, however, everyone did an equal share in our family. Even after speaking with him the first day, he decided not to do his chore. He still chose not to do his chores, so, as agreed, I took $10 out of his allowance for each day he didn't do, which allotted him only $20 for his allowance, whereas his brothers had $50. The problem came when my son was so upset about the lack of money in his allowance that he called his dad about it. My ex-husband then contacted me and told me that I was in the wrong for only giving him $20 and to imagine how it made him feel that his brothers got more than he did. I explained to him that our other sons did their chores for all 5 days, so they were rewarded accordingly. I assured him that if he had decided to start giving the boys an allowance, then he could run the allowance however he wanted, but this was ultimately the system I'd come up with. My ex-husband told me that I was being insensitive and humiliating our son. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Do the job, get paid. Don't do it, don't get paid. It's pretty simple. You're not taking money out of your son's allowance. You're not paying him for services not rendered. The misogynistic reasons behind not completing the chores must be corrected, and that won't happen by rewarding it. Since when does your ex have any precedent over what you do in your house? The system you have is amazing, coming from someone who had to do all of my chores for free. And those included much more than just sweeping. LOL. Also, it's good for you to teach your son that there aren't gender-assigned chores. I've always been the one to mow the lawn, yard work, but also to clean up around the house, and I'm a woman. It taught me valuable life skills, which is what you're teaching your son. Right? Tell the son if he thinks they're girls' chores, wait until you drop his daily rate to $8.90 a day that he does them to show them what it's like to be paid as a female in this day and age with 89 cents to the male dollar. Haha. And I pay closer attention to who your son hangs around with online. Please do not back down and show this to your ex. Your kids have to understand how the world works. There are rules and norms as well as consequences for not following them. If you teach your son to sit on his butt now, it'll be a nightmare for you for 6 more years. It'll be worse for him as he enters the job market, gets a girlfriend, or has any other responsibility. My girlfriend and I moved to Europe a few years ago, and she got a lot of plastic surgery while we were out there that I begged her not to get. She got a blepharoplasty, a nose job, fillers, a chin surgery, and I don't even know what else. I hate to say it, but it decreased her attractiveness. Don't get me wrong, she's still beautiful, but not nearly as gorgeous as what she used to look like. It also makes me sad that she removed all the features I loved on her face. It's also sad that people think these features must be removed. She looks hollowed out and tired. But she doesn't want to admit she got plastic surgery. We're back home from Europe and people started commenting on her looks at dinner. One of her friends just straight out asked if she got something done and she said no. She said it was just aging. Of course she would look different, she's 27, etc. I was shocked. I couldn't believe she'd play that card when the results were so dramatic. It's so obvious that she was lying, but no one called her out on it. My sister has been staying at my parents' house because I'm here and she's been weirdly obsessed with her looks since that dinner. She's only 24 and she is truly a baby. 24 seems so young now, or at least she makes it seem very young. She admitted to me that seeing my girlfriend brought up feelings of anxiety about aging. She said she didn't know people could change so much and it was stressing her out. She started calling me and freaking out about a line she found on her forehead, which was hardly noticeable at all. She isn't a person who's super fixated on her looks normally, at least, so it surprised me. But she was buying a lot of anti-aging skincare and applying it multiple times a day. I told her she was fine, all she had to do was moisturize and wear sunscreen. I looked the same as I did at 24, but she wasn't buying it, and it was obvious why. It hurt me so much to see her like that. She kept putting retinol on her face and would ask me daily if I saw lines going away when there were no lines in the first place. After a while of her spiraling, one day, I finally broke down and said, "Dude, you're freaking out about aging because of my girlfriend. Chill out, she got plastic surgery. You don't just randomly start to have different features after you hit 25. You're going to look exactly how you look now at 27. Relax." She's way too young to be hyperfixating on her looks and worrying about aging. She has an obsessive personality sometimes and gets fixated on things, probably the anxiety disorder, so just telling her made her drop the subject. Thank God. I told her weeks ago, but last week my girlfriend asked if I'd told anybody about her plastic surgery. I admitted I did tell my sister because I didn't want to lie about it and she was very mad at me. Was I wrong to tell her? My girlfriend didn't outright say not to tell people, but she obviously wanted me to lie for her and expected me to do that. Not the idiot. When people deny having work done, especially if it's noticeable, people don't tend to believe them anyway. I don't think your girlfriend is fooling anyone. Your sister's well-being and state of mind are more important, and it's good just to be honest about getting work done. I'm not shy about admitting I get Botox. It's for me and I love it and I'm not ashamed of it. It's not like you rented a billboard and told the world. You told your sister to help her find peace with her self-image. Most people probably know your girlfriend had surgery but don't want to embarrass her. However, at this point, you ought to reevaluate how you feel about your partner and whether or not you want to continue this relationship. What if she got more work done? Would you be comfortable with that? You are the idiot. Sounds like the girlfriend did this for herself and she knows sharing this info makes people feel entitled to voice their unsolicited opinions and judgments. Her friends probably know she's lying and drop it because they respect her comfort level and know that it's none of their business. It was private info you were privy to as boyfriend, no one else. The correct response was to tell your girlfriend about your sister's obsession with aging and come to a compromise on what you tell your sister to ease her fears. The perfect example of judgment she's trying to avoid is you calling her sad for making this decision. Clearly her fears of judgment aren't unfounded. Update. Thank you for all your responses. At the end of the day, my sister's well-being and mental health matter more to me than anything or anyone. She is naive, maybe more than you would expect from a 24-year-old, and I feel I need to protect her. She looks up to my girlfriend and me a lot. My sister and girlfriend are both in therapy and have been for years, but that doesn't stop insecurities. As for an update on our relationship, I do need to talk to her about the future. I've realized I lost a lot of respect for her. Not because of the plastic surgery and changing her appearance. I'd accepted that, but she was fine with lying to my sister and watching her spiral into obsession. I kept telling her that my sister was struggling and she would deflect and say many young women care about their looks and she'll get over it. It rubbed me the wrong way. My sister is my best friend and my only real family. I want to think my partner would see how important she is to me and prioritize her mental well-being. But yes, we will talk about it. Thank you for all your responses and input. So my daughter Emmy, teen, is currently grounded after she and another girl stole one of the golf carts from school and crashed it into a pond while intoxicated about a month ago. The other girl is still in the hospital, so now you have at least some context for the proceeding. Emmy recently received an honour from our state government for academic achievement in Latin. Her friends decided to plan a party for her to celebrate and she asked if I, 38 female, would let her go out this one night, and I said no. She's obviously upset, but she's grounded. You don't get to just ignore your punishment because your friends are throwing you a party. Also, her punishment is only that she can't leave the house except to go to and from school. She still has her phone, computer, switch, TV, etc. Later that night, discussing it with my fiancé, he said I was being harsh on Emmy and that she's done her time and I should let her go out with her friends. I didn't budge. It's not a graduation or funeral, it's a party for something she can work for again next year. She's a sophomore. She still has 2 years before she graduates. That's 2 more years she'll have to go out with friends after she's learned that actions have consequences. She's not even considered apologizing to the other girl's family or visiting the hospital. As far as I'm concerned, she's not learned her lesson yet. But at the same time, it's just one night and it's for an academic achievement that she worked hard for. So, am I being an idiot? Wait, your mid-teenage kid got intoxicated, stole a school vehicle, drove it into a pond, and landed her friend in the hospital where the friend remains a month later, and yet the school hasn't suspended or expelled her. Did you have to donate a swimming pool? And despite being grounded with complete access to all her electronics, she thinks she should get to go to a party because, hey, she won an academic award. You do realise that, at least where I am, a golf cart DUI is a crime, and if someone else is injured, let alone seriously injured, there are arrests and serious legal ramifications. What, do you live in the land of insanely minimal consequences? You are not being an idiot, you are being extremely lenient. Your kid drove intoxicated and consequently another kid is seriously injured. And Emmy did time? Sorry, but no. While Emmy has not been suspended from school or lost access to electronics, another kid is in the hospital. Please don't let your fiancé make parenting decisions for you. Yikes. My roommate and I live in a typical student dorm at our university. We didn't know each other until this year, but we formed a friendship. We're not like best friends, but we get along well. We never really officially discuss boundaries or anything like that. We just treat each other with respect and use common sense, and that's worked out for us in the time we've been living together. Every now and again she'll tell me about her boyfriend, but she's never shown me any pictures or anything. All I know is he goes to another school a few states away, and they've been together since high school. One day she tells me he'll visit because he has a fall break. I didn't ask for any details when she said this and just said okay. Yesterday she texted me that a boyfriend was on his way and asked if I could let him in the room if he showed up before she was back. However, I didn't see this text until I got a knock on the door. I looked through the peephole and asked who it is, and he announces himself as my roommate's boyfriend. I had never seen this guy before in my life, so I didn't let him in. I asked him if he could wait until she returned from class. He just said sorry to bother you and walked away. About 30 minutes later, my roommate came back with the guy from before. She starts asking me why I didn't let him in. I told her I had no idea what her boyfriend looked like and wasn't comfortable with some random guy coming into the room while I was alone. She told me that I was overreacting and needed to grow up. They leave and don't come back until much later. I'm just about to go to sleep and ask how much longer he'll be staying, and he says probably just the next 2 nights. I ask him where he's staying, and he gets this confused look on his face. Then he says he's staying in our room. I told him that I never agreed to anything like that and that he'd need to leave. My roommate then proceeded to call me a witch. I stood firm and finally they both left. My roommate sent me a message saying they ended up sleeping in his car and was trying to guilt trip me. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Overnight guests in a shared dorm room must be discussed and agreed upon, not assumed. It's not your problem if your roommate and loverboy had to sleep in his car. Your roommate and loverboy can get a hotel room if they want to stay together. She doesn't have a leg to stand on and she's free to be as angry as she pleases. She didn't ask if loverboy could stay over because she didn't want to hear the word no. I can't believe she thought it would be cool with you to have a perfect stranger sleeping in the same room without even asking you first. She did ask. She said he was coming over, and OP said okay. OP, you are the idiot. You said okay without finding out more information. Why? It's common sense that if someone has an SO visiting with the roommate's consent, they'll be around the room and potentially staying the night. You're in university, on a student budget, and a hotel would not be the go-to arrangement unless it's necessary. Where else would you think he'd stay without specifically making alternate plans? She brought it up with you ahead of time, as she should. She could have been clearer, but most adults with common sense wouldn't think they must spell it out like that. When you said okay, the common sense implication is that you're fine with the partner staying over while visiting.